What's that noise?
I think Jared's messing with the lights or something.
Oh me. Hey everybody. Wonder who's up on this bright, well, I would say sunshiny day, but the sun ain't shining yet. We just got done with our long drive to get to the storage unit. I'll turn the camera around here so you guys can see. That's where we're at. Hey mama. And there's the storage units. Apologize for not having an auction last night, but we decided it'd be best to go ahead and drive up here overnight and miss all the traffic. So that's what we've been doing for the last several hours. We got several miles under under our belt, so we're you can see it in my eyes. But it's not been a bad ride. I mean,
Yeah, next time we come up here, we need to come at night like this.
yeah, I mean the traffic. We missed the traffic in Louisville. We missed the traffic in Cincinnati. We missed the traffic in Columbus, and we missed the traffic in Cleveland. So, and they don't open up here till 10 Eastern, which right now it's almost 8 o'clock. So we've got about 2 hours before the manager actually gets here. You know the picture I showed you guys the other night, and some of you may not be watching this live. You may watch it when you get up here in a little while. But right now it's almost 8 o'clock Eastern time, and that's what we're on here in Cleveland, Ohio. We are on the Eastern time zone. So we've got about 2 hours before the manager gets here.
This segment of Uncle Jed is brought to you by
Red Bull. Gives you wings. Bobbles gives you a heart attack. But the unit we got was a unit where you guys seen all the train models, the HO. If you go to my Facebook page, I'll upload the pictures, all the pictures that was on that particular unit. Good morning, Gail. But you can see, and you can sort of use your phone and blow up the pictures. Probably just right there in front. The unit's only 5 by 10 foot. That's what worries me a little bit, because I do see a couch in the pictures. I see a couch that's standing on its side. We have found out some more information. The man passed away. He was in his 80s. This is our conversation that we didn't have this information beforehand. The man passed away, he's in his 80s. And the conversation that the manager and I had, and then he relayed some of the conversations that him and the elderly man had. And he said that the guy told him he was just a big kid at heart. You know, and he loved to collect toys. So, let's see, what else was it? And I mentioned to him that he said him and the regional manager unlocked that one, and stuff just fell out. That's why some of the pictures look, it looks a little messy there in front. It was stacked in there so much that stuff just started falling out on the floor, so they just put it back in there. You couldn't see past about probably 4 or 5 foot. So, but you can tell everything's stacked to the ceiling. So, if the only things we find is what's in the front of that unit that we could see with our eyeball, me and India probably lose around $3,000. But if it pans out with all my studying, I studied on this unit. I told y'all the other night, I studied on this unit for, Lord knows, probably 2 or 3 weeks, you know, maybe an hour at a time, blowing up pictures, looking at stuff, researching the Feller and the Vollmer, the right Vollmer.
Yep.
And the Kidbury.
Yeah.
Kidbury. And they're all German-made models, you know, like people that really set up a big train set.
And what was that other one that started with an F?
Feller, Feller, I think. But they buy these buildings and they put them together just like a model car. And what?
Fixed your light problem.
Did you get it fixed? Did it make this light come on?
No, I just fixed it on the truck where I was blinking. So
Oh, okay.
on the dash.
Or stay on. Okay, good deal. But we researched all those names and they're all made in Germany. And the only thing you couldn't see from the front, if you guys look at those pictures, the only thing Gil, I think, looked at them. But there's the link there to my Facebook page where those pictures are. You couldn't see any actual trains. So my assumption when I started looking at that, I need to look up some German-made trains. So that's what we did. We looked up some German-made trains, and those trains are very, the right ones are very, very expensive. We're talking, anywhere from $1,000 to $5,000. So that was my first thing that I went on. I have no idea that they're in there like that. I know I sort of counted, what I could see of the model houses and depots and the vehicles and things like that. I sort of know, what that's worth, what we can get, out of that stuff. That still leaves me $2,000 or $3,000 short. So what I'm relying on, if you'll look and you'll see the bigger boxes there, they've got moving tags on them. Yeah, and well, he went and got. You'll see a bunch of those bags, Gail, from Hobbytown. And Hobbytown, I don't think carries the Fellers or the Keebrees or the Vollmers. I don't think they carry that German, the buildings and things like that. From what I'm researching, I don't think so. But they do carry. What was that name of the? We could actually read the boxes in the Hobbytown bags. Prius or not Prius?
Oh gosh.
But they were like little. Me and Indy looked and blew up the pictures, and they was like little crates and little men and little signs.
Yeah.
It's little bitty accessories. So those are the things he got. So I'm saying if he had all these, he's got to have the actual locomotives and things like that. And some of them that's made in Germany are very, very expensive. And some of the models that you see depends on what he's got. I noticed like the Carnival ones, Ferris wheels, things like that. They were up there around $700 or $800 a piece. And the ones we actually could see and put a number on them, see the number on them and look them up over the internet, they range on up, $40, $100. So we're counting all the stuff that we could see, and then we're going on. Now we're actually going on what the managers told us, and it's really encouraging that the man was in his 80s. And then when I mentioned those models being from Germany, I said, was the man of a German descent? He said, now that you mention it, I think he was, because he told me one time about his dad being in the war and things like that and military stuff. So that got me to thinking if he collected, the German stuff, because we all know a lot of that German stuff is very well made. When it comes to pocket knives, a lot of people love the pocket knives that's made over in Germany. What is it, the Boker ones, India? And that's what Boker's made in Germany, isn't it?
What?
Oh, I probably got my finger there on the sound. Is that better? Is that better right there? I think I had my finger on the mic button there. Just let me know if that's a little better. I'll turn the camera around too. So the unit that we bought is actually on the second floor. That's a bit better. Yeah, I don't know what's up with this phone. I'm fixing to have to break down and get a different phone. But the unit's actually on the second floor. So I'll turn it around so y'all could read my lips if the sound's not. I don't even know where the mic is on these things. I'll try to talk a little bit louder. The unit's on the second floor, but the manager told me that the freight elevator is right next door to this unit, so that's going to be a good thing for us. The only thing that worries me is that they said that this man months ago, I don't know exactly how long, but they got onto him because he had so many of the collectible toys and train sets and things like that in his house or in his apartment that they made him move it, you know, as far hazard or whatever. He just bought tons and tons of it, so he was bringing it over here to the storage unit. All right, Evil Lenny, we've been driving, Jason, we've been driving all night long. We left Scottsville, Kentucky. What time did we leave Scottsville? About 7:30, 8 o'clock Central Time. We got up here about an hour and a half ago. You guys, y'all take it easy at work and have a good day at work today. Our biggest part of our work's done. Now the anxiety sets in. Jason, when you get to work, if you get on your break, go to my Facebook page and look at that unit that we got. Right now we're in Cleveland, Ohio. I didn't mention where we was at the other night when I was showing you guys that, because for obvious reasons, we do have competitors that watch, and I had a couple competitors there on the end. When I was bidding on that thing this morning, I thought I'd get it for a couple $1,000s. I mean, I really did. I thought I'd get it between $1,500 and $2,000. Because up until the last 5 minutes, I think I had it at $1,400. And man, they commenced the bid, and that thing was over $2,000 like that. And before you know it, it was over $3,000. And I'm sitting there thinking, I've done made my mind up. I didn't want to go that high. And so the one bidder drops out, because on the auction site I was on, it actually shows, you know, their code names, who they are. And the one bidder dropped out, and this other King Herbie, I think it was, that was his code name, just kept bidding. And then it got up over 4,000. And I hollered and told India, I said, India, get up, because this was this morning around 8 o'clock.
After a couple hours.
After 8. Yeah. I told her, I said, jump up, honey. I said, I need you to help me make a decision. And we got it. It was like at 4,600. India done came in there, and I told her, I said, you know, we might lose some money, but we won't lose all of it. And just the things that we can see, I know it's going to be $2,000 to $3,000. And then the unit got up to, I think it was $5,000. That was King Herbie's bid, $5,000. And I done told India, I said, I'm out. No, I put in a bid of $5,000 something.
$5,010.
I put in a proxy bid of $5,010. And he bid it on up to $5,000, and the bid was at $5,010. And you got to understand, when your bid's at $5,010, that means the company that's hosting on the website there, they get 10%. So that's automatically another $501 that you're paying. So we're at $5,500, and then you got to count, you know, your gas and eats and everything coming up here, and your labor. So we're at $6,000 on this unit. So the anxiety, right now we're about 2 hours away from the manager getting up here, us handing him some cashier's check, and then going to the unit, him opening up the door, and we'll actually be able to get up on something and be able to see over in there to see if there's more of the HO models in there, to see if there's other stuff. And I'm just thinking, this is my whole thinking when I started looking at this unit, that there's going to be some German items in there. I'm thinking, you know, German knives, military items. You know, they made a lot of nice plots and stuff over in Germany too.
And guns.
and guns
And money.
and money. So, but that was my thought. There's going to be some really nice, and the German got some really nice glassware too. So, and expensive. Most of the stuff that comes from Germany, like I said, it's well made, it's well sought after, and him being in his 80s, talking about his dad's military service. Good morning there, Silver. But talking about his dad's military service, you have to think, if he's in his 80s, that puts him being born 1930s if he's up in his upper 80s. And then his dad would have been born, around the turn of the century. So they very well may have came over, as immigrants from Germany. So everything goes through your mind. Now, when you're bidding on a unit, you can't count on them things. Excuse me, but that's the hunches that I went on. Those particular items, and plus, I had no idea that the person. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Jason. But there's no easy button. There's no way of guaranteeing that those items are in there. That's right. Exactly. It's always that 50-50 shot. But when you do your research, it's been a while since I got a unit. The Mount Juliet unit, which you guys all seen, was a fiasco, and some watches actually saved us, and some gold that we found in it. But we paid, I think, $3,000. I can't remember, over $3,000, I think, for that, or had that in it. And you guys were watching. I think we was live on Facebook, and we was finding paperwork. There was probably 150 totes in there, and most of them was full of paperwork. Yeah, Danny, that's what. When I saw those German kits, I don't know if you've looked at. You probably had time, Danny, because I know you was out in the mud trying to deliver some items. But all those kits are from Germany. And now the little men and everything, I know they're from Hobbytown, and I'm thinking more than likely. Now you never, and I hate to say this, this wasn't a guy that just didn't pay for his unit and lost his unit, okay? But like I've done found out, he was up in his 80s, maybe close to 90, and probably didn't have a lot of family. Yeah, I know it because I've drove from up here to the Lake Erie's just right over here. We was like 2 blocks away from it a while ago. But the man did pass away. It wasn't that he just forgot about his unit and just didn't have the money to pay on his unit. He did pass away, and when someone passes away, they have no family or nothing, then usually this is what happens. Or sometimes they have family and they just say, they get all their money out of the bank and everything like that, and they say the heck with this stuff in the storage unit. They pay on it for a little while and then they just forget about it. That's what's heartbreaking. But we'll be able to take this man's stuff, if it is some military items and stuff, and when we put them up for auction, there'll be other people, that collectors and people that really appreciate. I found out that military people that collect military knives, things like that, and medals and stuff, that they really appreciate the soldiers that went over there, and some gave their life, and some came back in very bad shape, and they collect these things, and they like to look at them because they can think back, if they get a dagger off of one of the guns, and they can think back, this thing was, brought a lot of people's freedom. So the guy that I'm trying to end this thought here without sounding insensitive. When someone dies, usually those are some pretty good units. When someone passes away, and you hate to say, well, that's what makes me think there's going to be some really good stuff in there. But it seemed like the man enjoyed himself, and I'm looking forward to maybe reading some of his letters, if he's got letters in there, because the way he sounded talking to the manager, saying he was just a big kid at heart and stuff, It seems like I already know this person. I already don't know this individual. It's almost like when you come and you start going through somebody's items, and the other families either he didn't have no family or they won't go through it and they don't care about it. It's almost an honor when you, and it's not all about the money. Uh, I mean, that's good. It keeps you going, but it's almost an honor to be able to sort through their items, and spruce them up a little bit and offer them out to other people that, I don't collect trains or anything like that whatsoever, or any kind of collectible toys. So these will go to other collectors just like him to be able to enjoy. And I think he would smile down on that, seeing that his items are going to someone else that enjoys collecting toys and just being a big kid at heart. So you sort of get attached to these people when you get their stuff. But the anxiety is setting in. We're over $5,000 in this unit, and time we get done, right at $6,000. This is what we're gonna have in this 5x10, and I've never gave that much for a 5 foot by 10 foot unit. Never. But Evil Lenny, that's one reason that I did not bid on that unit the other night. One thing, I thought Ashley was closer, and I knew she had bought units, and I thought I might help her out a little bit. But I knew I had this unit coming up, and like I explained the other night, sometimes you've got a lot of inventory or things like that, but it's not liquid. And at any given time, you've just got so much money and liquid cash that you can get a hold of to buy one of these bigger units. So I knew this was coming up, and I've been watching it for several weeks, hoping I'd get it for a couple of thousand, but I didn't. Let me read what she said there, Lenny. Oh, cool beans. And a lot of times we get stuff in these units that, and eBay can only give you so much information. Usually they give you can find out about what something's valued at. But as far as trying to find some history on different items and what the items were used for and things like that, I depend upon people like Lenny there and like Danny Gladwell and other people that they like. Danny knows his pocket knives, Evil. I mean, Danny will come in and look at your pocket knives and say, that's a good one, that's a good one, that's a bad one, that's a good one, that's a real good one. And I remember Doug Mitchell, a friend of mine that's passed on now. Danny probably remembers him too. He was good at pocket knives. But it's really good. A lot of times, a fan of you, we actually bought a car one time, and that was a big mistake in the unit. It was one of them little midget cars, yellow, and it had the front end was smashed in a little bit, and it cost us like $600 to get that thing hauled back to Scottsville. And I finally gave it to my son-in-law, said, part it out, piece it out, and you and Missy just take the money and go with it, because it was just a losing proposition. But a lot of times when you see a car in one of the units, you'll see it there. I think right now there's a unit selling that's got a Chevelle in it, one of the older Chevelles. But usually when you see it in there, the bids will go up, or they'll say the car is not for sale in this unit, just the contents surrounding it. But no, it'd have to be a pretty big unit with stuff stacked all around it for there to be a car in there underneath, everything, without it actually being seen by the manager or somebody. Oh, cool beans, Evil. Yeah, now we do find, Silver was asking if we ever found a car. Now, we did, like I said, bought a car one time that we knew was in there, and it was I don't. Those are some of the bad memories. And some of you might be thinking, well, you just said that you stand a chance of losing, over $3,000 on this unit. That's a chance that it's there. But does it grieve you will it upset you to the point to where you don't want to do it no more? It won't be the first time that we've lost money, and that's we're in it for the long haul. And the way I look at it, that's $3,000 worth of fun to me, and this is the part I enjoy. Well, not this part, waiting on somebody to get here, but this is the part I enjoy, the hunt of it. And actually, when the door first opens and you start looking in the boxes, it's just a thrill to be able to find something that's rare or something that's unexpected. I'll read your messages here in just a second. Is this thing about dead? I'll show you guys. I've got a few more people tuning in. If this thing goes dead, I've got it plugged in. The car's running. But this is where we're at. Cleveland, Ohio. Well, a little suburb off of Cleveland. And here's what happened. You know, I've got my big trailer. One of my friends, they actually, the reason we've got a U-Haul trailer here, it's just a 5x10 unit, but the reason we've got that instead of my trailer with the walls on it. Oh, I don't mind sharing. I will in just a second. Let me get done with this story. But he borrowed it, and he's supposed to have it back by last night. So he calls me, and he's broke down, not with my wagon, but with his vehicle's got a flat tire, and he's not got a spare. So we're on our way up there. I made the decision to go ahead and get a trailer. And when I get the trailer, you know, that's another added expense. But things happen like that. So I stopped in Elizabethtown, Kentucky, and took him a spare. It was the wrong size spare, so hopefully he got it fixed, because we had to get on up here. But that's why we've got the U-Haul trailer instead of our trailer. And we also came in our vehicle also, so we've got two vehicles up here. And what's the rarest item you've ever found, if you don't mind sharing? You know, I don't know if it's actually the rarest item, silver, that I've ever found, but to me, the best item I've ever found, as far as being something that I like, is those 200 Civil War letters from a Confederate soldier. He would write home to his wife, and when he would write home to his wife, he would say at the end of the letter, "Till death do us part," and he would tell her everything going on in the war. And he would talk about how that they paid $1 for a dozen of eggs, and some of the vendors or shopkeepers and stuff, they was gouging the soldiers. I mean, $1 for a dozen of eggs back then was just crazy. And horses was in just you couldn't even find a horse. And he would talk about his buddy. In one of the letters, he talks about his buddy getting his whole arm blowed off. But he said, I think he's going to survive. Can you imagine back in 1860s having your whole arm blowed off and even thinking about surviving? Unimaginable. You know, he didn't get his arm just, cut off or something. He got blowed off with a cannonball. Now, that, and then he said, the Yankees were trying to kill me, and they shot at me, and I don't know, the YouTube didn't like me. YouTube must not like me talking about guns and cannons. So I'm gonna get off here and maybe just get back and relax for the next couple hours. Try to think about and study on the items we're gonna find. Now, we're inside this building. We may not be able to go live and show you guys what's in the boxes and stuff. Yeah, that's what I should do. So about 15 after 10 Eastern Standard Time, 15 after 9 Central Time, around somewhere after 10 o'clock, like I said, Eastern Time, we might be able to go live. But the way the internet's acting now, just right here, we get inside that metal building. Inside, it's an indoor unit. We may not be able to, but we'll actually do some videos, and then we'll upload them later. Well, if the internet wasn't messing up, Silver, I will tell that whole story another time about those letters. I still do have them. And I've got his Civil War medal. I've got a Confederate $5 bill that he sent on to his wife. We've got the trunk. They actually found the letters in. And we got a letter from Margaret Mitchell, the writer of Gone with the Wind. They did hawk that book in 1947, or those letters, and tried to get her, the one that wrote Gone with the Wind, to write a book about him. And she said in the letter, and she said this now, she said, frankly, and that's what they used in the movie, you know, frankly, I don't give a. She said, frankly, I've not been able to write anything since, I think, 1936, it says, when she wrote Gone with the Wind. I don't think she ever wrote anything else because she got killed the next year. So this was a year before she got killed in Atlanta, run over by a drunk driver, going on her way to the movies with her husband. But we've got that letter, a 3-page letter, where she's saying these letters are just invaluable, but I can't write a book. She's telling them where to maybe go to get it done. And they did wind up transcribing all of them and putting that in book form. Didn't write a book about it, actually. They just transcribed all the letters. I've got those transcriptions from 1952 from the College of Alabama, the original transcriptions from the letter. So I've got the whole package, and we hope to put it on the market soon. And it's going to help us increase our business inventory-wise, and let us do some creative things with our business and expand a little bit. All right, guys, I got to get off here and drink me a Dr. Pepper and smoke a cigarette, I guess. I don't like smoking when I'm on the air, so, for some reason. But anyway, India's getting all of her windows clean because I couldn't hardly see on the way up here because of fog. And
Brought to you by Sprayway.
Sprayway, there you go.
Cleaner.
She's trying to get us some sponsors for her show. Anyway, God bless y'all. Y'all be safe at work, and be watching if we can go live about 15 after 10 Eastern time, 9:15 Central time, and we'll you get a look in the boxes with us, guys, and you didn't have to pay $6,000 to do it. All right, I'll check those messages out, Jason. Thank you. God bless y'all.